Hi everyone! Again, this is Richard Solomon of my YouTube channel Cha and My Narratives, The Stroke Survivor. Okay, I'm very excited to share this my content for today, because this is actually about I just watched a very long video or vlog coming from Dr. Pierre Kory. If you remember, Dr. Pierre Kory is actually the chief medical officer of the independent group called FLCCC Alliance, no, a non-profit medical organization, wherein he discusses the ways that public health organizations are manipulating scientific data on early COVID-19 therapeutics in order to sow uncertainty, parang pagdududa, no? And why they are doing it, no? This is a very long video, but I am gonna show you bits and pieces of it. Hindi ko po siya papakita lahat, and I would make my own 2 cents and explanation in my layman terms, either in English or in Tagalog, back and forth, no? Right? Okay, so I'll just show you this. I will just flip over the camera. So I would be flipping the camera every now and then. Okay, just for a moment.
Dr. Kory, are you ready? Take it away.
Hi, thanks for that, Betsy. And you know, we're really at war for health and for our lives and our patients' lives, and that's why tonight I'm going to talk again about the WHO. I just think this really needs to be addressed. This word has to get out, and I'm just going to keep hammering it as much as I can. I really want to talk about the WHO, what they've done, and how they're really hurting global public health. Before we get to that, you know, there are some bright spots. So I do want to talk about some. We really are making advances in the world. So I don't want to be doom and gloom, because I don't know if I want to use the term we're winning, but I do see a sea change happening. I think more attention is being paid to this obstruction and the harms and really the failures of our healthcare agencies. And I think that kind of got supercharged with our paper. So a review paper, which took a long time to get to publication, has now been published, right? And so I'm pretty proud of it. It was published about 10 days ago, and it's extremely popular. Using this altmetric score, it's got like a sky-high score. It basically, since it's been published, about 200,000 other scientific publications have come out since then, and we are number 13 out of that. And in all time, out of the 17.7 million scientific publications ever tracked by this score in about last 10 years, we're number 246. So it's really...
Okay, may papaliwanag lang po ako sandali, no? Kung nakikita niyo po dito, narito po, yung sinasabi dito is the American Journal of Therapeutics. For your information, ang American Journal of Therapeutics po is like parang Biblia yan ng mga doktor with regards to medical publications po. Unang-una, ang hirap po makapasok ng mga papers dyan ng mga doktor, ng mga clinical trials nila, mga reviews nila sa mga papers nila, mga sasabit nila mga medical studies po, no? Kapag ikaw po ay na-publish, katulad sinabi ni Dr. Kory, yung pag-aaral nila FLCCC with regards to ivermectin, yung journal, yung review nila, yung study nila ay pumasok, no? Ito po yun ang title nyo, Review of the Emerging Evidence Demonstrating the Efficacy of Ivermectin in the Prophylaxis and Treatment of COVID-19, ay napayagan po, ay na-publish po sa American Journal of Therapeutics. Pumasa po siya, no? At nagkaroon siya ng index score ng 6,344, which is high, at pumatak po silang number 13. At mula nung po nag-rank number 13, yung yung studies nila, no? Kaya sila pumasok sila sa American Journal of Therapeutics. At mula nung na publish po yung itong studies nila, there were already 203,205 outputs or mga similar studies on ivermectin daw, no, na sinubmit sa American Journal of Therapeutics. Okay? So, ang ibig ko lang po sabihin dito is napakahirap po na ma-approve ka at i-publish ng yung paper mo, medical paper mo or pag-aaral nyo ng American Journal of Therapeutics. Parang Biblia yan ng mga medical studies po, no? Mga trials.
Really getting an increasing amount of attention. A lot of news outlets, many of them in India, and so we're really hopeful that we're having a positive impact in the world right now. I am not going over. Sorry. I am not going over the efficacy of ivermectin because it's proven. Dr. Laurie is one of the world experts at making guidelines, doing systematic reviews. Just her group alone and their independent effort, the BIRD Consortium, they arrived at the conclusion that it should be the standard of care. Our article also arrived at that same conclusion. We're not alone, right? So Professor Omura, the Nobel Prize winner, his group from Japan, they published their review paper concluding the same. Another independent group from Spain and Italy. And the key about all of these groups, and I think you need to understand this, is that we are independent expert panels. None of us are conflicted. None of us have any other interest than the oaths that we took as physicians, which is to the care of our patients. And when you do that, and you look critically at a medicine, especially in a pandemic, you can't help but arrive at an objective conclusion that it is the standard of care. And it really is doing phenomenal impacts around the world. So,
okay, ikakat ko po doon. Balikan ko lang po, no, yung slide ni Dr. Pierre Kory. Ang sinasabi niya po dito, no, in continuation, is dito po sa American Journal of Therapeutics, mula nung nagsubmit sila, no, and marami pong bansa at mga medical groups rin po ang gumawa ng kanya-kanyang pag-aaral sa ivermectin. At hindi lang po sila, pati po ang Japan. Actually, ang Japan isa sa pinakauna, no? Then UK, Spain, and Italy. Alam niyo po, pumutok po ang COVID sa Italy, no? So, nakagawa rin po sila kagad ng pag-aaral ng ivermectin. At ito po yung history kung bakit po na-introduce ang ivermectin, no? Saan po? Gusto ko po mag-focus po, ilalabas ko lang po itong slides na to. At pupunta po tayo dito sa very particularly sa itong ginawa ni Dr. Omura. Natatandaan niyo po si Professor Omura. Siya po yung Nobel Prize winner sa ivermectin together with Dr. Campbell, no? So, ilalabas ko lang po to. Pupuntahan po natin mismo yung studies po ni Dr. Omura. Yan po si Dr. Omura, kung nakikita nyo rin, no? Si Professor Satoshi Omura. Sila po yung Nobel Prize winner ng ivermectin, no? Na marami po silang napagaling na yung tinatawag na river blindness sa Africa po noon, no? Ngayon, particularly, gusto ko lang po i-discuss to, itong global trends, no? Ewan ko po kung ilalapit ko po, no? Pero isa-summarize ko na lang po sa inyo yan. Nabasa ko na rin po to, no? Napakahaba nito. Hindi ko po babasahin sa inyo lahat to. Pero umpisahan ko. Dito po sinasabi to ni dito sa grupo nila ni Dr. Omura. Dito nag-umpisa yung history kung saan nanggaling ang COVID-19, no? Pumutok nga po to unang-una sa China. Pero nai-report to ng China sa buong mundo, lalo na sa World Health Organization, being a World Public Health Organization. Siyempre, nag-report sila sa World Health Organization. Pero nung ni-report po nila sa World Health Organization, medyo matagal-tagal na to, hindi lang to nung November, In fact, marami po ang namatay na ang suspicion nga noon is marami ang namatay sa Wuhan, China, for the reason na kung napanood nyo na sa National Geographic yung report doon, ay yung napanood ko rin po yun separately, no? Nagpatayo pa nga sila ng biglaan sila, mabilis sila nagpatayo ng ospital sa dami ng taong nangangamatay diyan po sa unknown cause of pneumonia, no? A type of pneumonia with unknown cause, hindi na malam, pero sa kanila pumutok yan, no? Ngayon, November 9, 2019 nung ni-report yun. After 2 months, yan, nag-warn na po yung World Health Organization sa buong mundo na pinagbawalan na ang lahat ng bansa na bumiyahe sa China noong January 2020. Okay? So, pumuputok na ngayon, kumakalat na, no? So, syempre, maraming bumabiyahe sa China, kaya kumalat na po yan. At isa nga po doon ay sa Italy. So, dahil po ay ang tingin lang nito ay gaya ng mga karaniwang pneumonia, sinubukan po nila yung mga gamot na dati or yung mga tinatawag na protocols na dati na pong ginagamit sa pneumonia, no? Katulad nito, no? Yung mga chloroquine o yung hydroxychloroquine, doxycycline. Yan, doxycycline. Kung para po sa inyong kaalaman, yan po ay ginawa ng Pfizer na ang tawag po dyan, sa branded po niyan, doxycycline is Vibramycin. Azithromycin, ayan o. Pati yan, gumawa rin po sila, sa Pfizer rin po yan, azithromycin. Counterpart po yan nung katulad sa company ko po no, na clarithromycin. That is a derivative of erythromycin, no? So para mga pang ano yan sa mga upper and lower respiratory tract infections yan, yung mga gamot na yan and other drugs. Pero nakita nila ineffective to mga to, malalakas ng mga gamot to actually, mga antibiotics to, ineffective siya as therapeutic purpose sa against COVID, no? So until such time nung pumutok nga po yan, merong isang Australian research group na gumamit sila ng in vitro study. Ito pong SARS-CoV replication, SARS-CoV-2, at ginamitan nila na ivermectin na anti-parasitic drug nga po siya no? Na nagulat sila, ito po ay nagsusuppress ng replication by 5 folds. Dito po nag-umpisa rin yun sa Australia, no? So kaya po kumalat ngayon, nag-umpisa kumalat na yung balita ng tungkol sa ivermectin, the efficacy of ivermectin. Pero as in vitro study pa lang po yun. But it inhibits and it suppresses the replication of COVID-19 virus 5 folds po or 5,000 times. Yun ang ibig sabihin. So yan, nung kumakalat na po yan, marami na pong bansa ngayon yung nag-signify ng interest po doon. At in fact, yan, sinabi po dito, since then, numerous clinical trials have been conducted in various countries. Talagang marami ng clinical trials, no? As of January 30th of January 2021, a total of 91 trials in 27 countries has been recorded at this registration site. Nag-register na sila, no? Pero ito po yung gusto kong itatapusin ko ito sa ginawa po ng nito nila Dr. Omura. They actually made a meta-analysis, no? Ang meta-analysis po is actually a statistical analysis that combines the results of multiple scientific studies, no? Pag sinabi po kasi meta-analysis yan, para bang kumulekta sila ng maraming result ng multiple scientific studies na pag-aaral sa ivermectin, no? At doon po ay nakagather sila ng 91 trials noong January 2021, which is already exactly like 1 year. 1 year po nung nag-announce po ang World Health Organization na may kumakalat na type of pneumonia na of unknown nature, no? So after 1 year, ito po yung ginawang meta-analysis po nila Dr. Omura out of 91 trials in 27 countries. Ang na-record po sa registration sites, no? Now, ito po yung naging resulta, no? Sa 91 trials na yan, meron pong 49 trials ang in-exclude po nila dahil nakitaan po nila ng bias, no? Hindi po kasi pwede yun sa meta-analysis, no? So, ang inaano lang, kaya po tinanggal yung 49 trials na yon dahil natagpuan nyo ng bias. Ang ibig sabihin po kasi ng bias, minsan sa methodology or sistema or process na ginawa ng mga grupong yun sa pag-aaral, ay meron, for example, nag-shortcut sila para to arrive a conclusion. So medyo na parang na doktor, tinanggal nila yung, binusisi nila yung 91 trials, at ang lumabas, 49 of those 91 trials ang in-exclude nila. Ang natira po ay 42 trials. Ito po ngayon yun. Furthermore, by the 27th of February, the results of 42 clinical trials, including approximately na kinabibilangan ng 15,000 patients, which is a good number already, both registered and unregistered studies, have been subjected to a meta-analysis. Ayan. After exclusions of biasing factors, ay yung ngayon po yung 49 studies na sinasabi ko, tinanggal nila yon. But it was found that 83% na ginamitan po ito ng ivermectin showed improvements with early treatment. 83% po ang nakitaan ng improvement sa early treatment. 51% naman po improved during the late stage treatment. So, yan yung medyo grumabe na, no? So, pero nakitaan nila pa rin ang 51% improvement. And there was an 89% prevention. Napakalaki po ng prevention of onset rate noted. Now, this confirms that the usefulness of ivermectin. Dito po nakitaan nila ng pakinabang ang gamit ng ivermectin, no? Since it is a meta-analysis based on 42 test results, it is estimated that the probability of this comprehensive judgment being a mistake is as low as 1 in 14 trillion. Ang ibig sabihin po nito na dito sa out of these 42 results na meta-analysis nila rito, there was only an error, a margin of error, yung tinatawag nila ditong mistake is a margin of error by as low as 1 over 4 trillion. Ganun po kaliit yung margin of error ng resulta ng pag-aaral nila to, yung meta-analysis, which means that the result of the efficacy of ivermectin are true, factual, and accurate. Yung purity po ng accuracy, ng efficacy ng ivermectin, out of these 15,000 patients, yung mga results niya like 83% improvement in early treatment, 51% improvement late stage treatment, 89% prevention of the onset noted, are very, very precise and accurate. Yun po ibig sabihin kapag napakaliit po ng margin of error. Yan po yung resulta ng meta-analysis ng paper na sinabit rin nila Professor Satoshi Omura, which is titled Global Trends in Clinical Studies of Ivermectin in COVID-19, na pumasok po sa American Journal of Therapeutics. Kasama rin po yung pag-aaral, yung review naman nila ng FLCCC. So napakarami po, babalikan ko po to, napakarami po actually na mga clinical trials or the sciences involved in the study of ivermectin and its efficacy. Yun po ang conclusion po nung itong paunang mga subject na tinalakay po ni Dr. Pierre Corey sa discussion pong ito, no, sa video. Napakahaba po niyan. Ang gagawin ko na lang po niyan ay isa-segment ko po. Pipilitin ko po na mahimay ko pa ho yan at magawa ko po ng mga ibang vlogs. Katulad nito, napakahaba na nga po nito. Yun lang po pinag-usapan natin, no? Pero gusto ko kasi pong mapalinaw sa inyo. Ito po yung latest na balita sa FLCC. At marami po yung science na actually na isama dito sa journal na to, no? Evolving. It's all about pag-aaral sa ivermectin, the efficacy of ivermectin. So, hindi po tayo nagkukwento tungkol sa ivermectin sa ilang buwan na or sa ilan ng mga pag-aaral na, hindi po tayo nagbobolahan. Hindi po tayo nagsasabi ng mga kalokohan. So ito yung gusto ko rin po sanang matignan ng ating mga either scientifico at mga grupo ng mga doktor dito kasama ng World Health, ng Department of Health ng ating bansa at ng FDA at even the Philippine Medical Association. If these medical scientists, medical experts, scientific doctors has this kind of clinical trials, why not look into it? Gumawa nga ako ng vlog noon na sinasabi ko, bakit hindi nyo tignan yung science sa ibang bansa? While we are waiting for the clinical trials that is being, ewan ko kung naumpisa na or that is being conducted now, no? or umpisahan pa lang, dito sa Pilipinas, habang hinintay, ang resulta niya, mga next year pa no? Mga first month of next year, first quarter. So, why not wait for that? Basahin yun itong mga medical doctors na or association sa atin dito sa Pilipinas. Basahin ito, busisiin nyo. Ako nga, natutuwa ako hindi po ako doktor pero alam nyo, pag nakakabasa akong clinical trials, binubusisi ko yun. May mga words lang na hindi ko naintindihan. Either sa dictionary, dati kasi dictionary, ngayon, madali na titingin lang ako sa Google Bawat word, bubuksan, ko kagad yan, hanapin ko, para mas maintindihan ko pa po yung binabasa ko mga clinical trials and clinical abstracts. At naiintindihan ko ganun po ako meticuloso, na how I wish I was also a doctor. How I wish I am a doctor, no? Kasi nakakita na ako mga doktor na ganun, na-excite ako pag nakakita kong gagaling na doktor. Nakakita na ako sa ospital na nag-usap ng mga dalawang mga fellows, no? Mga fellows sila na minsan pinag-usapan, bro, alam mo, yung experience ko dito sa dapat siguro treatment natin dito is dapat unahin natin to bago ito kasi ito yung dati ng meron akong mga nakitang doktor na gano'n at namangha ako. Even then, when I was professional medical representative of a prestigious company, that was the time parang nawiwish ko, sana nag-doktor na lang ako kasi gano'n rin po ako ka-inquisitive, no? Minsan pag may mga na-excite ako, kahit hindi po ako doktor, is katulad yan, nagbabasa ako ng mga nanonood ako sa YouTube, nasa YouTube na lahat. Nagbabasa ako ng mga clinical trials and reviews, articles. Meron akong nabasa, na-excite ako kasi habang binubuksan ko lumalalim yung kaalaman ko. Natutuwa, may nadadagdagan ako sa pag-aaral ko, may nadadagdagan akong sa knowledge, no? Na knowledge sa akin, nag-expand ako kahit ako hindi doktor. So sana po mga doktor natin yan ganun din, na mas lumalim. Kailangan mag-i-open sila sa mga pag-aaral ng ibang bansa, ng mga grupo sa ibang bansa. Katulad ng FLCCC, they're non-profit. Hindi sila nagbebenta ng ivermectin, hindi sila nagma-manufacture niyan. Porque pinupush nila yan dahil kasi napatunayan nila yung efficacy niyan. So, anyway, with that, I hope you enjoy this narrative of mine, this vlog of mine. I'm trying to explain it in bilingual and in the layman's term. I hope my fellow Filipinos understand it somehow. I really hope so. Please comment below kung ano pa yung gusto nyong mas maintindihan. Mag-comment po kayo kung ano pong pananaw nyo po sa vlog na ito. So, I am welcome. Kinakausap ko po lahat na nito. At kung may mga doktor dyan, I welcome. Kasi po pag doktor, marami po matututunan pa rin sa inyo, no? So, hindi ko po sinasabing mas magaling po ako sa doktor. Mas welcome ko nga po kung kayo po ay doktor at ma-lecturean nyo kung makikinig po ako. So, again, shout out to Dr. Roel Tolentino, by the way, bago kong kaibigan doktor, no? Maraming salamat po sa lagi tayo nakakapag-usap ngayon, time to time. Okay, with that, again, this is Richard Solomon. Well, pinapaliwanag naman lang dito kasi may yung World Health Organization, public health organization, the biggest, is gumagawa sila ng para hindi nila matanggap, hindi nila maintindihan Dr. Pierre Corey kung bakit there's a resistance, there's a non-recognition non-accreditation of this very very profound clinical trials and results on ivermectin against COVID, why they don't understand why they are resisting this, and but they already know the reasons behind. Okay, so with that, this again Richard Solomon saying peace, God bless, and love your one another, more so your families. Okay, bye bye for now.